Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Christian Colabelli, product manager of Effects Pedals, and I'm back yet again with a mega installment of Today, I'm going to be looking at 3 presets actually. I've got one from Micropitch called Girth, one from UltraTap called Bullfrog, and one from Black Hole called Parsec. And I was actually in a Wawa buying a sandwich, and I heard Sting, Every Breath You Take, come on the radio, and I was like, oh man, I had forgotten it, how cool that guitar part was. I was like, maybe I can come up with a modern version of that. So that was the inspiration for that. And also buy the Italian sub from Wawa, it's incredible. So let's get into it. Okay, so I've got Girth queued up from Micropitch here, and let me just, first of all, let me play you what my unaffected tone sounds like. Okay, so just real quick, I am going through the effects loop of the Kemper. I'm basically going mono into Micropitch, mono out into UltraTap, mono out into Black Hole, and then stereo out through the effects loop of this Kemper. Okay, so let me pop on Girth so you can hear what's up. So that's your classic Sting kind of chorus sound. We're basically using it as a doubler here. Pretty standard, you know, everything is set up to just really give you that fat, warm tone. We have pitch A and pitch B a little bit right of center. Short delay times, low feedback, pretty crank depth. Again, we want that thing to really... We want it to really, really be sultry and get some weight to it. And again, we have that positive envelope here, which is going to give you the most modulation when you first strike the string based on where it's set. I have it cranked, and then it will gradually back off. And picking dynamics are really important with that. The louder you play or the more aggressive you are with the pick attack, the pitch will increase actually. So yeah, that's it for Girth. Let's go to Bullfrog from UltraTap. Okay, so now I have Bullfrog queued up from UltraTap. So let's hear how that sounds, and picking dynamics are really going to come into play here. So you hear that bounce that's happening? That's really, that's a result of where the chop knob is set. And we have it set to trigger here, which is an extreme type of gating. And we have, if you look to the, at the knob to the right, the speed rise and release knob, release corresponds to trigger. Obviously you can tell with the color coordination there. And we have a really quick release. So that's gonna get that Bullfrog, that very vocal whoop, that type of quality happening. And the taps we have set to 64 When the taps are higher, they're harder to perceive because there's so many taps happening, but that will actually give you that smooth kind of rather than have it be really choppy. So again. So I don't have that. I have the mix at 75 here. I don't have it super prominent, but it's just enough to perk up the listener's ears, which is what I want. Okay, so now let's switch over to Black Hole. Okay, so now I have Parsec queued up, and let me play you what that sounds like. Okay, so now I have Parsec queued up, and let me play you what that sounds like. And that one's really inspiring for me. I absolutely love that. It puts a lot of wind under your playing, and that kind of like reverse sound is happening again on the gravity knob. We have it set to negative gravity, which is going to be your reverse reverb. And again, I say this all the time, but the size and the gravity are really important here. So we have the size cranked up, so that's going to actually affect how much reverse reverb we have. So the size is pretty generous here. So really, it's super prominent, but it somehow stays out of the way of your pick attack, even on those single lines or single note lines. And that's because I have my mix a little bit left of center, so it's right under 12 o'clock. That's important. So that's basically the key on this one is the reverse reverb, without a doubt. And keep in mind the relationship of the gravity and size knob. I have the Q rolled off. Lows and highs are right down the middle. And again, I want this to be a little bit brighter, so I have the depth kind of rolled off on this. Okay, so let's play what all three of them sound like together. So wow, there's just so much richness happening right there. You have that classic Police type chorus happening, but I think the Ultra Tap, the Bullfrog and the Parsec, the reverse reverb and that crazy gating happening creates something entirely different. And I think that really, you can cop that whole muted picking thing vibe in a modern context, and this is a great pairing to explore. Okay, so let's see what all three of these presets sound like combined in a musical context. We'll add some bass and drums and really get this thing cranking. All right, everyone, so there we have it. This is one of my favorite ones so far. I really got inspired to create this like wild kind of progressive riff, and I think, I'm not sure this riff would have come out had these presets not been paired together, because I really kind of wrote the riff off of the preset, and that is, again, that's exactly what we're going for. That's the beauty of these .9 pedals. They really, really inspire you to cover new sonic territory. And in honor of that wah-wah sandwich, we're gonna call this one, since our preset here is Girth, Bullfrog, and Parsec, we'll call it the GBP combo. And that's one that you can take and chew on for a while. and you create your own stuff with it. But anyways, head over to eventideaudio.com to learn more about these .9 pedals. Please give us a like and subscribe, and as always, comment below what your favorite presets are and what pairings you use in your own music. And once again, stay creative, get out there, write, record, make it happen. This is Christian, signing off. Peace out.